Hello, it's Lawrence Romanosky from Calgary, Canada, shooting with Aidan Goss, who's filming this. What I have before me is our 1969 Jaguar E Type Series 2. Now, this is the third video we've done on this vehicle. The first one was a detailed narrated walk-around video. Then we did a driving video. At the end of the driving video, we noticed that there was an oil leak in the car, unsurprising. And so this video is an update as to the recommissioning work we've done since the last video to address that oil leak and a few other odds and ends that didn't work in the car. So I just wanted to go through that because we spent a month on the car or so just going through it top to bottom to sort it out and deal with all those kind of little things. So now we can truly say that the car is on the button, as they say, and ready to go. Before, when we advertised it for sale for the first time, we had to say, well, there's a leak and the handbrake cable isn't connected, and so on. And so we've addressed those. So let's go through it, and I'll just show you what we did. So maybe just come around here, on this side of the car, what we had was a little bit of an oil leak from the top of the engine, and that was discovered to be thankfully, just the valve covers. So both the valve covers were taken off and all of the gaskets renewed, and then it was, and then we didn't have the oil leak anymore, so that was a fairly straightforward fix to that. When we were doing that work, and we can come over to this side of the car, there was a few other things that we noticed. There was some very slight gas seepage coming from where the carburetors meet the intake manifold. And we also noticed a little bit of coolant leaking from the water pump. So we bought a new water pump, painted it the correct color, replaced the gaskets, installed the water pump. The whole carb assembly came off, and all the gaskets were renewed, and we bought a SU carb rebuild kit. The parts came from SNG Barrett in the UK. And so the carbs were disassembled, rebuilt, checked, all the float levels checked, the oil in the dash pots were checked, all the gaskets were changed, and all the gaskets from the air cleaner to the carb and the carb to the intake manifold. So this whole assembly was taken off, taken apart, and refreshed. As well, when we looked at it again, when we were in there, we found that some of the fasteners on the throttle shafts and the carb linkage were incorrect, and we took the opportunity to put all of those back to stock as well. We didn't have a handbrake when we started, and so it was in the trunk, and so in fact, the one that was in the trunk wasn't necessary. The one installed in the car was correct. We were told it was an incorrect cable. It turns out it just needed to be installed and adjusted correctly. So we installed the handbrake. It works correctly. Fixed the oil leak, coolant leak, gas leaks. So we went through the car. We gave it an oil service, checked all the fluids again, and so this car now, I don't think we can. There's no more to do on this car. It had the benefit of, $160,000 restoration in the early 2000s. It wasn't driven a lot since then, and so then the current owner just put it up for sale. But probably we probably should have done this first. And anyway, that's where we are now. And so the car is ready to go. It's very pretty, drives beautifully, starts on the button. It really actually works well. I guess the only thing I suppose you could do is The tires are older. I mean, they don't have any mileage on them, and they're a little bit small. You know, you could buy new tires for the car. You don't need to, but you can get some, now you can get some remanufactured Dunlops and Michelin XWXs in the correct size. You couldn't back then. So that's something the next owner could do. But again, it doesn't need it. These tires have been well stored. There's no dry cracking at all. So there's no, I don't believe, any safety issues, but they're old tires and you could fix them. Mechanically, the car needs nothing now. It is absolutely just ready to go. So that, basically, this is just, the video is just an update of our journey here with this car. Now it's, you know, ready to go for the next custodian. Thank you very much. Lawrence Romanosky from Calgary, Canada.